Hey, it's Denise. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. I wanted to show you what arrived from Amazon, so I am going to tip the camera down so that you're seeing what's sitting next to me. Yeah, we're just going to kind of cut off the top of my head here for a minute. I've been wanting one of these stoves. If you watch Emmy Made in Japan, that's all one word, E-M-M-Y, Made in Japan, in one word, on YouTube. She is, first of all, absolutely a lovely human being. She does lots of fun cooking videos. She'll do weird stuff. She'll do retro stuff. She'll do just, interesting stuff or stuff that's trending in social media that people want her to try out and see if if it's a legitimate recipe. Even if you don't plan on cooking the recipes, she is just so much fun and a joy to watch that I totally recommend her. So watching her videos where she doesn't use like her kitchen stove, her studio is set up and she has a counter area and she uses, now hers is different than mine. I couldn't find the exact one she uses. Her portable stove, she said she got at an Asian market. I live in the sticks in the very rural Adirondack Mountains of northern New York State, almost up by Canada, only a few hours away from the Canadian border. So, yeah, I don't have an Asian market. I have basically no cultural diversity up here of any kind. So I went on Amazon and I looked for the next best thing. And this I should just show you. It just arrived today. It comes in this case. The case has like these little slides to lock and unlock it. It says it's a 10,000 BTU butane stove. That's what it's saying on the label. Now, it comes with the instruction manual. And what I wanted was, I wanted one of these for a few reasons. First of all, I have an electric stove, which absolutely stinks. If I owned my home, I would not. I rent an apartment, and that's what I have. Getting my canner up to boiling, up to processing, takes forever, and I think sometimes it affects the outcome of the quality of the products because they're sitting in there for an hour waiting to get up to processing temperature. So like they're cooking for an hour before we're even starting to count the processing time. So a gas stove is much faster, generally speaking, at getting your water boiling. So, but of course that means one that's heavy duty enough that it can take the weight of a filled canner. Now, I don't know, hopefully you can see, I am pressing on this. I am putting significant weight, and it is not giving or bending or flexing under my hands at all. So this is really sturdy, and I have the feeling it's going to have no trouble holding a canner. Now, this comes off for cleaning. You can see, I can take it out of the case to show you. This is the case. This is the unit itself. So that would be the inside. Like I was showing you, this is the burner that you could take off and clean. And this is where you would put in the, I'm going to get it wrong, butane. I always, for some reason, want to, what's the other one? Not butane. It's one of those other tanes that you use for propane, I think. Yes, this is not propane, this is butane. And they sell it in these 8-ounce cans that fit right in here. I ordered a 12-pack of the 8-ounce cans, and they're shipping separately. So this arrived today, and kind of that's why I'm showing it to you sitting here as opposed to using it. I kind of was excited and wanted to show it to you before I use it. I'm not sure when I'll get to use it for the first time. And like I said, I haven't received the propane that goes with it yet. So, but from what I've read, the propane cans, the 8-ounce propane cans, say that on low, like a simmer type setting, you'll get about 4 hours of use out of a can, whereas at, the highest, you'll get about 2 hours. So for a canning project, depending, like if I'm canning meat that has to can for over an hour and a half, or an hour and a half, might I need to quickly switch to a second can? Yeah, that could happen, so I think if you're going to use these, you want to make sure that you always have a little backup supply of the butane cans. That's why I ordered a 12-pack instead of just buying one or two, because I figured, first of all, it's a little cheaper if you buy them by the 12-pack. It's a little more of an outlay up front, but it is cheaper per can to buy them that way. So for canning, I want to be able to do this right on my countertop, like on my island countertop, and not even have to deal with first of all, my like I said, my gas stove doesn't work well, and it's also right in the corner up against the wall, which to me is just not a good place as far as from a fire prevention perspective for a stove. It shouldn't be right up against a wall. So I like the idea that I can just use this on my, let me close it, because this is what it will look like while it's sitting on the counter being used. I like that I can use this on my island next to my prep deck, which, yes, I did cave and get a prep deck. Did I do a video about it? I think I did a video about it. I'm pretty sure. Yes, I did a video about unboxing and setting up the prep deck. They're a little pricey. I think it was about $149, but I do love it. If you're doing a canning or cooking recipe and you just want your things to be already pre-measured out and set up and in their compartments with their covers, plus it comes with the tools like the mini grater, the citrus juicer, the garlic crusher, the mandolin slicer, like it comes with all those things, and it keeps them in a very organized manner. So you can do some of your setup the night before, and then you can just like be ready to go and have your ingredients out. So whether it's a sort of complex recipe that you're cooking, or if it's a canning recipe, which my canning, I tend to keep it simple, but some people do, tons of different seasonings and stuff, like in their pickling or pressure canning or water bath canning. I don't always think of it as a highly seasoned thing. But anyway, yeah, so this will fit right on the counter next to my prep deck. It's because, as you can see, it's not that big. And when you're not using it, it just folds away in this case. So the case, could be would I like a slightly higher quality, more heavy-duty case? Yes, I would. I think that's probably my only complaint. Okay, like I showed you, like these two slide into lock to close it, and then you slide them out. You try to slide them out. There we go, to open it. This is a little on the flimsy side. Not terribly, but I'm just saying they could have made it a little more heavy duty. But it's not like I'm going to be swinging this thing around. Pretty much once it's put back in the case, I don't really, anticipate you would be doing much with it other than putting it like on a shelf or in a cabinet. And again, because it has butane in it, obviously you're going to be careful about where you're storing anything potentially combustible. So I was just really excited about that. I also like the idea that during a power outage, if you wanted to cook like an easy meal, like say a boxed mac and cheese, or reconstitute some freeze-dried meals that you've made in advance, or heat up some canned soup, or really any number of things, you could just pull this out and use it on the countertop, and you don't need electricity. You don't have to worry about starting a generator and running an extension cord and stuff like I would for my electric induction plate if I wanted to use that. So I like that this doesn't need electricity. So that's kind of, so for me it's multi-purpose. to have as a gas, which is preferable to my electric stove, and also to have for a power outage. So I feel like that makes it worth the purchase if, especially that it will serve both purposes. If you were someone who went camping, it would additionally serve the purpose of, it's really not heavy. I mean, you can see I'm very easily lifting it with one hand. You could easily take this with you camping. I imagine it, like in an RV or something, you could also take it. So it wouldn't just have to be like, backpack and tent kind of camping. I imagine in an RV, if you want to be able to just do some simple meals or even just boil a pot of water, or a kettle, this would be an easy way to do it. The cans do say that they have like a, seal on them so that when they're not in use, you're not having any sort of gas leakage. So you don't have to worry, like when you're not using it, that can is leaking butane. I told you up front I was going to keep, for some reason, messing those up. Butane. So yeah, I'm looking forward to using this. Hopefully within the next few days, I will actually get the 12-pack of the canisters that fit in here of the butane, and I'll be able to give it a try. And then I will know if it is good for canning, and it would be awesome. If I could find something that heats up faster than my electric stove, that would make my canning go so much faster. And even if not, like I said, the secondary use of being able to use it during a power outage, and here in the Adirondacks, power outages are real things that sometimes last for days or more. And if it's in the winter, you're already keeping your generator busy, keeping your refrigerator cycling periodically so that what food you have in there doesn't go bad, and alternating between that and keeping some space heaters running so that your house stays habitable. Otherwise, you would have to escape and go pay for a hotel in the nearest town that still has power. And I don't have the money for that. If it's one night, it's one thing. You might, be able to just take my son and the dog and just get a hotel room for one night. My dog's 15. He does not like being relocated, but he also doesn't like being frozen. So having a space heater on is a priority during any sort of power outage in the winter. So this would be one way of cooking that is not dependent upon the generator, like the microwave, the induction plate, the toaster. They all would have to use the generator, which, like I said, I would rather be able to dedicate that to the space heaters and cycling the fridge so that my food isn't going bad. So again, I just think it's a wise investment. It's not that expensive. They have models from, like, the cheapest ones I think were under $40. This one was $40-something. I want to say maybe about $45. And you could go up to, like, fancy 2-burner ones. You could go for ones that were on a stand. You could spend over $200 depending on how fancy you wanted it to be. They had ones that had longer connection hoses that you could connect them to a larger propane tank. But those really are for outdoor use, whereas this said that you can use it indoors. Now, obviously, I would want to use it with somewhere where there's ventilation, but, and again, you'd only be using it for a short period of time, so I'm not too worried about that. But it seemed to me like a great idea, something that like I said, I've been wanting to have since I saw Emmy use hers so many times, and so very happy that came. And hopefully I will be showing you how it works in the not-too-distant future when I get the fuel for it. Oh, there's a little gauge in it. Look at it. I just, opened it like a book, That's not what I meant to do. There's a little gauge. I didn't show you that. That lets you adjust the heat. Can you see that? I'm trying to show you, kind of the whole front, but you're getting glare. That's better. That's just kind of, the brand and a little bit about it, and there's the gauge from on and off, and it does have an electric starter, so you don't have to use a match or anything to light it. that's that. When I have more to tell you about it, I will. I hope you found that interesting. Hope you found it useful if you're looking for something either for camping or power outages or just because you have a stinky electric stove like I do. Please give this video a like. Hey. Please give this video a like. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I really do appreciate it. When you're trying to grow a new, young YouTube channel, it is so important that people like and subscribe. Please hit the notification bell, check out my other videos, and share if you know anybody who might find this to be of interest to them. I truly appreciate when you take the time to watch one of my videos. It is important to me, and have a great day. If you have one of these and you've used it, please do leave in the comments letting me know what you think of it. Or if you have something similar to it, if you've used it for canning, let me know if it's worked for you. Again, have a great day, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch.